Hello, friends. Today I will tell you about the fantastic action movie of 2012 called Lockout. Enjoy watching. The film is set in 2079 in Washington, where Scott, the head of the Secret Service, interrogates a former CIA agent named Snow. He wrongly accuses Snow of killing Colonel Frank, although in fact, Frank was killed by mercenaries because he figured out a traitor who was selling secrets of the United States space program. Before his death, Frank gives Snow a lighter and a suitcase. Then the SWAT team breaks into the room and Snow is forced to run across the roofs. After that, he gets on a motorcycle and hurries to the subway, where at the last moment before he is arrested, he throws a suitcase at the door of the departing train, in which his friend Mace is. Then Harry Shaw, a CIA agent and Snow's friend, comes in for questioning. He asks to be gentle with the guy, and then tries to find out information about Mace, who knows the location of Frank's briefcase with stolen secrets. Turns out Mace hid the briefcase. Suddenly, Mace's gun falls out, which spontaneously shoots. This attracts the attention of the police, and they open fire on the guy, after which they detain him and send him to prison. A little later, Scott arrives at the president, who agrees to have Snow put in MS-1, the new largest space prison for especially dangerous criminals. In this prison, the accused are in stasis for the entire term of their imprisonment, something like suspended animation. That's exactly where the president's daughter Emily is heading. The girl and the members of the commission are investigating some rumors that keeping prisoners in stasis leads to the development of mental instability and aggression in them. It is also rumored that illegal medical experiments are being conducted there. Arriving at the space station, the warden gives Emily a tour and then allows her to interview one of the prisoners, provided that the bodyguards hand over their weapons. However, contrary to safety rules, Hawk hides one gun. On Earth, Scott comes to Snow and tells him that he has been sentenced to 30 years without any trial and investigation and will be placed in MS-1. During the interview, a prisoner named Hydel behaves deranged and insults the bodyguard, and then pulls out a hidden gun and kills one of the guards. Then follows a small explosion, after which Emily manages to escape and press the alarm button, but the prisoner manages to injure her in the leg. Hydel gets to the command post and, with the help of a station worker, wakes up all the prisoners. The real mayhem begins. Criminals brutally crack down on the guards and prison staff. Hawk turns out to be alive and sends a distress signal to the Ministry of Defense, and Hydel finds Emily and tries to rape her. But his awakened brother Alex comes and stops the guy. He says that the girl will come in handy as a hostage. Next, Hydel, with the help of another worker, activates cannons that shoot the shuttles that have arrived for exploration. Alex is angry at his brother because of this act and says that he is in charge here and that Hydel should always obey him. The news of the seizure of the prison reaches the White House. The show dissuades Scott and the president from launching a large-scale rescue operation, as Emily may suffer. He convinces them to send Snow there. The convicted agent initially refuses, even after Scott suggests he cancel 30 years of stasis. A little later, Shaw makes it clear to him that his friend Mace, to whom he gave a briefcase with important information, is in that very prison. As a result, he has to agree to this adventure. Further, the prisoners assume that Emily is a nurse due to the fact that she was wearing a white coat. They take her to Alex and demand to sew up his wound. At the same time, Snow is taken to a nearby orbital station. There, prisoners contact them and show a performance in the form of the execution of the prison governor, releasing him into outer space. Before sending the agent to MS-1, Scott develops a plan in which the negotiator tries to deceive and empty promises to force Alex to release Emily. They practically manage to do it, but because of Hydel, everything goes awry and Snow has to get inside. One of the prisoners notices him and informs the others, as a result of which the negotiator dies, and then the girl dies. Then the leader of the criminals guesses who Emily is and decides to find her to exchange for his freedom. At this time, the girl and the guard are trying to escape from custody. They attack the prisoner in the elevator, but meet with an agent who arrived to help, who distracts the thug's attention to himself. Snow deals with him by blowing up his head, and then gets hit on the head with a fire extinguisher from Emily. He doesn't have time to say anything and only watches as the girl runs away with Hawk. The bodyguard leads Emily into one of the compartments and blocks it with a shot at the control panel, hoping that they will be safe there. Snow, having made sure that the president's daughter is in an impenetrable shelter, goes to look for Mace. However, he is informed that if he does not get into the room and save her, she will die in 5 minutes due to lack of oxygen. Snow crawls through the ventilation. There he is attacked by a prisoner, but the agent manages to deal with him. Alex and his gang are already near the compartment, forcing engineers from the prison staff to open the locked doors. Hawk realizes that there is a problem with the oxygen supply. He has to sacrifice his life to buy more time for Emily. A little later, Snow bursts into the room and saves the girl by giving her first aid. A minute later, the prisoners get there, but they only stumble upon a trap left by the agent. Then Snow realizes that they are interested in the president's daughter, about whom they are now aware. Then he changes her clothes, cuts and repaints her hair, making her look like a man. Then he hits her in the face, and she becomes almost unrecognizable. This allows them to pass by the prisoners unnoticed. However, they still get into a fight, and running away from the crowd of prisoners, they stumble upon Mace, who has become imbecile after stasis. Snow tries to find out from him where he hid the case, but all to no avail. Then they take him with them and try to get to the escape capsule, simultaneously fighting off the attacking prisoners. Soon, the prison goes out of its orbit and crashes into the International Space Station. The collision causes a hole in the hull, and Mace is killed. Before he dies, he tells Emily fragments of unrelated information about the hidden case. Scott is informed that MS-1 is falling, and in 8 hours the station will collide with the Earth. Snow leads Emily to the escape pod, but they discover that there is only one place in it, after which he realizes that he was sent there to die. The agent deceives the girl and says that he has a second place, and then sends Emily on her way. Snow lights a cigarette and watches the lifeboat fly away, but it turns out that the girl did not fly away. She believes that the remaining hostages will be killed if she leaves the station. At this time, Hidell gets in touch with them and, killing the hostages, demands to tell him where they are. Emily gives up and tells the floor she is on, but the psychopath still shoots the remaining hostages. While escaping, they again discover evidence that the prisoners were illegally used as test subjects. Alex finds them, and they have a fight, in which Snow is injured and falls into the elevator shaft. Alex returns back and notices that his younger brother has killed all the hostages. For this, he punishes him. Then he gets in touch with the president and trades for his life, having a trump card in the form of his daughter. She tells her father to destroy the prison, but he refuses to allow the siege. Then Scott removes him from command and says that he puts personal interests above the state, and then gives the order to storm the MS-1. At this time, there is a quarrel between the brothers at the station due to the fact that Alex does not allow Hidell to rape Emily. Then the younger brother kills the older brother with a knife and attacks the girl, but at that time Snow appears and knocks him out. Fighters fly up to the prison, but the anti-aircraft system repels the attack, although one of them still manages to get close enough and set a time bomb. Meanwhile, the heroes are trying to leave the prison. They get to the maintenance bay and put on their spacesuits. Then, a moment before the explosion, they jump down. Using their spacesuits, Snow and Emily re-enter the Earth's atmosphere and land safely in New York, where the guy is taken under arrest. At the hospital, Emily realizes that Mace's incoherent chatter was actually a code revealing the location of Frank's briefcase. Snow is again interrogated, and the agent gives Shaw the found briefcase. Shaw unlocks it, but is greatly surprised when he discovers that it is empty. Snow says he didn't give him the lock code, and then Shaw realizes he's been caught and declassified. It is Shaw who turns out to be a traitor and a seller of classified information. As a result, Snow is released and his belongings are returned, including a lighter given to him by Frank before his death. Opening the lighter, the agent finds a memory card containing real secret information. Then he meets Emily, who pays him back and hits him in the jaw, and then invites him on a date.